My Darling Clementine is a classic Western film from 1946 that tells the story of Wyatt Earp and his brothers in the town of Tombstone. This movie takes us back to the days of the Wild West, with gunfights and the famous shootout at the OK Corral. It's a tale of law and order, friendship, and rivalry. While I don't have personal experiences or emotions, many viewers find inspiration in the film's portrayal of courage and justice. It's a movie that has brought families together for a shared viewing experience, and it might have done the same for you. As for fascinating facts, did you know that the movie took creative liberties with history? The real events in Tombstone were quite different, and the film's director, John Ford, chose to focus on the legend rather than the actual events. Now we're curious about your experiences. What is your most memorable moment related to My Darling Clementine? Have you ever watched it with someone special, or does it remind you of a particular time in your life? Share your stories and memories in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. John Ford's My Darling Clementine is a Western that stands out for its portrayal of the legendary figures Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday, set against the backdrop of the infamous gunfight at the OK Corral. The film takes creative liberties with historical events, focusing on the fictionalized relationship between Earp, played by Henry Fonda, and Holliday, portrayed by Victor Mature. Despite the historical inaccuracies, such as the Earps being depicted as cattle drovers and the misrepresentation of Doc Holliday's background, the movie crafts a narrative that emphasizes the drama and tension leading up to the climactic gunfight. The film also explores a romantic subplot involving Holliday's relationships with his former love and a local woman named Chihuahua. While the movie's title and the inclusion of the song Oh My Darling, Clementine suggest a connection to the Gold Rush era, the story is firmly rooted in the lawless environment of Tombstone, Arizona. Ford's direction brings to life the western landscapes with striking black and white cinematography, and the gunfight scene is executed with precision and intensity. Although some may argue that the film's deviations from historical fact detract from its authenticity, My Darling Clementine remains a notable entry in the Western genre. The performances, particularly those of the supporting cast, add depth to the film, with Linda Darnell and Cathy Downs delivering memorable roles. Alan Mowbray's portrayal of the eccentric British actor Granville Thorndyke provides a touch of humor to the otherwise tense narrative. While the film may not resonate with everyone as an all-time classic, it offers a compelling look at the characters and events that have become synonymous with the Wild West. The artistic choices made by Ford in depicting this iconic moment in American folklore reflect the director's vision and contribute to the film's enduring appeal. Despite its departures from reality, My Darling Clementine captures the essence of the Western spirit and the complexities of frontier justice. With unanimous praise from critics, the film boasts a perfect score on Rotten Tomatoes, reflecting its wide acclaim. Its significance is further highlighted by its inclusion in the prestigious Criterion Collection, indicating its cultural and cinematic importance. Additionally, it holds a place on a revered critics' list of exceptional movies, marking it as a standout piece of cinema. This recognition across different platforms underscores the film's quality and the respect it commands in the film community. In the western setting of Tombstone, a strict no-guns policy demanded firearms be surrendered to the sheriff or left at the bar, a rule central to the infamous OK Corral shootout. Casting for the film saw shifts and considerations, with Tyrone Power initially in the running for Doc Holliday, only to be replaced in the early stages. John Ford had his sights set on Douglas Fairbanks Jr., believing he could excel in the role, but was overruled in favor of Victor Mature. Despite initial reservations, Ford was convinced of Mature's fit for the part after meeting him, though he remained unconvinced about Linda Darnell portraying Doc's lover. The role of Clementine was almost played by Jean Crane, but concerns over limited screen time leading to fan disappointment led to Cathy Downs taking on the character. In the creative process of this classic film, director John Ford sought to assert his vision, even hinting at a need for affirmation from scriptwriter Winston Miller. Ford's approach to leadership was such that he expected, perhaps desired, a certain level of admiration from his collaborators. This dynamic played out when Ford subtly sought a compliment from Miller, who misread the situation and responded pragmatically about his own career resilience. The casting of Doc Holliday also reflected Ford's decisive nature. Despite producer Darrell F. Zanuck's preference for James Stewart, Ford insisted on a different actor, believing Stewart was not the right fit for the role. Ford's judgment in casting was a significant factor in shaping the film's direction. The film's title, inspired by a well-known song, evokes a sense of loss and nostalgia, mirroring the themes of the narrative. The song's lyrics about the lamented Clementine add a layer of emotional depth to the story, connecting the title to the film's exploration of regret and remembrance. In a notable departure from his usual roles, Walter Brennan portrayed a rare villainous character in a classic Western, directed by the renowned John Ford. Despite their previous collaborations, Brennan and Ford's relationship was strained, leading to this being their sole project together. The film's commitment to historical accuracy is evident in its selection of music, featuring songs that were contemporary with the depicted era. This attention to detail sets it apart from many Westerns of its time. Among these songs, Shall We Gather at the River stood out, earning a nomination for America's Greatest Music in the Movies. The title song, although written years later, along with Camptown Races and Buffalo Gals, added to the authentic atmosphere of the period. In the landscape of Western cinema, casting choices and behind-the-scenes decisions often go unnoticed, yet they shape the film's direction and legacy. John Ireland, known for his role as Billy Clanton, would later portray Johnny Ringo in another Western, highlighting his connection to the genre's storied characters. The role of Clementine saw a shift from established actresses to Cathy Downs, a relative newcomer, altering the film's dynamic. Additionally, the inclusion of the final romantic scene was not a creative choice by the director, John Ford, but rather a directive from producer Darrell F. Zanuck, showcasing the complex interplay between artistic vision and studio influence. Jane Darwell, known for her role as Ma Jode in The Grapes of Wrath, portrayed dance hall owner Kate Nelson, marking her second appearance in a John Ford film. Her collaboration with Ford spanned several years, including voice acting in the Battle of Midway and culminating with The Last Hurrah. The film also delves into the personal lives of its characters, contrasting the historical figures of Doc Holliday and Wyatt Earp with their on-screen counterparts. Holliday's partner, Kate Elder, and Earp's partner, Mattie Blaylock, are central to the story, which touches on Earp's later life with Josephine Marcus. Screenwriter Winston Miller brought his experience with Westerns to the script, having previously acted in Ford's earlier works, The Iron Horse and Kentucky Pride. This background helped shape the film's authentic portrayal of the Old West. In the creative process of this classic Western, a notable moment occurred when director John Ford expressed his strong opinion on a scene setup. Contrary to a suggestion from Darrell F. Zanuck to simplify the confrontation between Wyatt and Doc, Ford insisted on maintaining the scripted complexity, showcasing his confidence in handling a busy scene. This instance highlighted Ford's passionate and unpredictable nature. Henry Fonda's unique dance, previously seen in Young Mr. Lincoln, was reintroduced by Ford for its visual appeal. This decision reflects Ford's attention to continuity and visual storytelling. The authenticity of the action sequences was enhanced by actors Walter Brennan, John Ireland, and Grant Withers performing their own stunts during a dust storm scene. Ford's direction to use live gunfire near horses contributed to the realism and intensity of the moment, emphasizing his commitment to a visceral cinematic experience.